Imagine you wake up tomorrow. You reach for your phone to check your notifications. And nothing. No bars, no signal. Just nothing. At first, you'll think it's just a glitch. But then you realize it's not just you. It's everyone. The entire internet is dead. Within 10 minutes, the panic phase kicks in. And trust me, it's not the zombies you need to worry about. Your banking app? Gone. Your GPS? Dead. You literally don't know how to get to the grocery store without it. By hour 2, the grocery stores will look like the end of the world. Because the card readers stopped working. Welcome to the cash-only reality. Do you have any cash? No? Well, congratulations, you're now a hunter-gatherer. But that's just the funny part. The real horror? The supply chain. You see, the modern world isn't built on bricks. It's built on data. Without the internet, global logistics freeze. No more tracking numbers. No more automated warehouses. If you're reading this on a phone that relies on a constant cloud update, you're basically sitting on a ticking time bomb of unshipped groceries and medication. So, before you laugh, check your fridge. How many days until you're completely out of food? But let's talk about the real tragedy. Social media. Imagine you have a thought, a brilliant, life-changing thought, and you have absolutely nowhere to post it. No Instagram, no Twitter, no TikTok. You're literally forced to tell your thoughts to your houseplants. And trust me, your fern is not impressed. Without the dopamine hit from the like button, millions of people will experience a collective withdrawal. It's basically a global crisis of validation. Professional influencers? Their entire business model just evaporated into thin air. Imagine the chaos of a TikToker trying to describe their dance moves to a confused police officer. And what about remote work? Your Zoom meetings are canceled, permanently. Your boss is now standing on your doorstep, expecting you to actually work in an office. Suddenly, the freedom of working from home is replaced by the reality of a 9-to-5 commute. Traffic jams will be back with a vengeance. And this time, there's no Google Maps to help you find a shortcut. But let's talk about the real tragedy. Dating. Without Tinder or Hinge, how will you judge someone's personality in 4 seconds? Speed dating is back, and it's just people handing out paper CVs. Entertainment also went full retrogression. Blockbuster Video just reopened, and people are fighting over the last VHS copy of Cats. Remember working from home in your pajamas? Forget it. Your boss is now standing on your doorstep at 7 a.m., personally knocking on your door to make sure you're awake. Without 24-hour news cycles, global information stopped. Now, news spreads like it's 1889. Say hello to your local town crier. Surprisingly, people started talking to their actual neighbors again. It was awkward, terrifying, and involved a lot of forced pleasantries over garden fences. Because when you can't hide behind a keyboard, your deep, dark secrets become public property. Everyone knows everyone's business again. But the scariest part? The financial system. Without the internet, digital money doesn't exist. Your bank account is basically a number on a screen that no longer talks to the main server. You're broke, even if you're a billionaire. And it gets worse. Hospitals. Modern medicine runs on cloud records. Without them, doctors are back to guessing. It's like playing Operation with actual lives. By day 10, the grocery stores are empty. Not because of hoarders, but because there's no data telling trucks where to go. The just-in-time delivery system just became just-in-total collapse. Even governments are confused. How do you tweet an emergency alert if the servers are down? You go old school. Carrier pigeons. Yes, actual birds. By the second month, we've adapted. We're bartering chickens for Netflix passwords. Wait, no, the screens don't work. We're bartering chickens for more chickens. But the real fun starts at home. Your smart home? It's not smart anymore. It's just confused. Without the cloud, your fridge doesn't know it's a fridge. It just locks the doors and holds your food hostage. And your self-driving car? Well, it didn't get the memo that the internet is down. So it's just parked in the middle of a busy intersection, refusing to move because it can't verify its location. It's having an existential crisis in traffic. Worst of all, the infinite scrolling stopped. Netflix, YouTube, TikTok, the endless stream of garbage you use to avoid facing your life is gone. You're forced to look at the walls. And have you noticed? The walls are boring. Suddenly, people are digging up their attics. VCRs, Walkmans, Game Boys. This stuff is now worth more than gold. I saw a guy trade his car for a pristine, working Tamagotchi. And honestly, I understand him. But what if the internet didn't just take our data? What if it took our language? We use so many emojis and slang that we forgot how to talk in full sentences. Without the web to autocorrect us, people are literally just grunting at each other in coffee shops. Think about this. What if all our digital history just vanished? No Wikipedia, no archive, no record of anything we did since 1995. We'd have to rely on memory. And as you know, human memory is basically a broken game of telephone. And here is the biggest what if. What if our personalities were tied to our screen time? People who spend 10 hours a day on Twitter suddenly become incredibly aggressive and loud. People who watch TikToks of cats become, well, they start meowing. It turns out the internet wasn't just a tool. It was the training wheels for human sanity. And we just fell off the bike. By the third week, everything went off the rails. Cults formed around broken routers, and influencers were nailing photos of their lunch to trees just to feel something. It wasn't survival anymore, it was a total breakdown of logic. But then, the signal returned. The world stopped. Everyone pulled out their phones, and what was the #1 global search? How to survive without internet. We had the world at our fingertips, and all we wanted was a manual on how to leave it. It was worse than panic. It was mass incompetence. People had forgotten how to make a decision without crowdsourcing it. You had guys standing in front of a fork in the road, too terrified to pick a path because there was no ways to tell them which way to go. That's when I realized we don't need the internet to survive. We need it to hide how weird we actually are. So next time the Wi-Fi dies, don't panic. Just look at your neighbor, say hi, and pray it stays off for another hour. Thanks for watching Whyquire. Subscribe before the signal drops again. See you next time.